Hi, I'm Dottie Cianciola, and welcome to Let's Talk. It's a cool, breezy August 2nd afternoon here in Wellington, Ohio. That music that you're hearing, it was created by for Let's Talk by Brad and Dave Conklin. This show is brought to you by Film Crew Productions, a company formed by Dave and I. The idea for this Let's Talk is to provide a digital video platform for our community members to promote their businesses, creativity, as well as report on areas of interest. Given the importance to all of us within the Wellington community about what's happening within the schools, Let's Talk has placed our schools at the top of the reporting list, and each show will include school updates. We've reached out to our Wellington School Superintendent, Edward Weber, and asked that he keep us posted on what's currently happening within the schools so that we may share that information with all of you. Also, we're attending the Board of Education Zoom meetings and providing the highlights from those. We have good news on the nursing front. A full-time nurse will be assigned to each of the 3 school buildings: Westwood Elementary, McCormick Middle School, and our Wellington High School. At the last Board of Education meeting, the academic calendar, along with the restart framework and a September 14th start date, were approved. The current status, the schools are set at this time to open under the hybrid model. The next Zoom meeting is this Tuesday for the Board of Education, August 4th at 6 o'clock. The all virtual options, along with guidelines for safe restarts, will be discussed. Registration for the all online virtual option does require a full semester commitment to the students, and they will begin the registration process for that this coming Wednesday, August 5th. Under the pandemic, the airflow in the school buildings is of great importance. It's my understanding that the schools are currently looking into analyzing the air quality for each of our 3 buildings, and when I get an update on the outcome of that, I will share it here. Meanwhile, for those that are interested, I'm linking below an article that was shared by 2 of my friends actually to me on this topic. It is a very important one. So coming up next week on the summer of 2020 with Bill Berger, he will be interviewing the Wellington School's new band director, Mrs. Haley Slaggs. Many of our school students will recognize her by her maiden name, Miss Haley Ward. She recently got married, and she'll be talking here about her plans for the school year and also the recent decision by the Ohio Music Association to cancel all of the marching band competitions and what that will mean for our schools. You can go to the Wellington Schools website. It's linked below for further school information. And be sure to like and follow us on our YouTube channel. Up next on the summer of 2020, Bill Berger's interview with Jenny Arntz, the director of Main Street Wellington. Main Street works with our local government, businesses, and community members to enhance and support our downtown Wellington community. She's a Wellington native. She's been the executive director for over the past 5 years, and under Jenny's leadership, Main Street has made many great strides. Last year, Wellington was the recipient of a Main Street America $25,000 contest. Now, we are formally known as the cheese capital of the entire world, and Wellington used the money that they received from this contest to revamp the cheese sign on the Herrick Avenue for Warner building, and also for various other projects in the downtown area. As the director of the Lindley Center, I've had the pleasure of working with Jenny many times over the years. She's an enthusiastic, fun, very idea-oriented person who pours her heart and soul into our community, and we're very fortunate to have her here in Wellington, Ohio. Cheers to you, Jenny.
From the front porch of the Berger residence, Film Crew Productions presents the summer of 2020. We were very fortunate 2 weeks ago to interview the mayor of Wellington, Hans Schneider, who gave us an update both from a political point of view and from a medical point of view on the COVID-19 pandemic. Here are the facts. Currently, 4.3 million people have been infected here in the United States with the virus. 150,000 deaths have resulted from the coronavirus. 29 states have been deemed as having a significant increase in the number of either cases or deaths appearing within their particular state. 30 million people who were getting unemployment checks. Those checks ended, that $600 stipend every week, that ended over the weekend, and Congress has been unable to come through with any kind of a solution to that particular problem. And finally, 10,000 businesses have actually shuttered their doors, and the chances of them coming back probably are slim to none. This is the summer of 2020. That starts now. Jenny, welcome to the summer of 2020.
Thanks for having me, Bill.
You're most welcome. Well, obviously the first question is very easy. I want to have your thoughts on the state of the Wellington businesses and how they've been doing so far with the coronavirus pandemic.
Well, I've had a lot of conversations with a variety of folks from around town, and obviously there are extra challenges, especially with our restaurants having so many new guidelines to follow.
Right.
However, I'm really happy that no one has had to close. And we actually had a new business open up during this crazy COVID world. Truly Simple Boutique opened, I think, early May, mid-May. And so, and she seems to be doing pretty well, in my opinion. And I know I was talking with my dad, Jim Jurassic, who at one point owned Farm and Home Hardware with his brother. And he said, you know, the 50 years that they had that open, the fair historically was always the slowest week of the year. And that's for the hardware. So, you know, and at one time they even had a lot of agricultural things. So, so I don't think there's going to be a significant impact. However, I know when people would drive through town, they may see something, they may see a new store, and then decide to come back. So I'm sure there will be a slight difference, but overall, most people will take time off, close. A few of the businesses would go to the fair and have a booth.
Right.
And so, because pretty much everybody was over there.
Well, we've also had other cancellations. The gazebo walk was canceled, and also Falling in Love with Wellington has been canceled. How is that going to affect Main Street Wellington?
It's definitely a concern. Our fundraiser, our budget, are a third of our revenue, and so we're trying to figure out other ways to get some donations. We just recently found out last week that we were going to get a $7,500 grant from the Community Foundation of Lorain County to help. We're trying to pepper in different virtual aspects to it. So if anyone is at home and they don't feel comfortable coming uptown, they can still participate and feel a part of the community.
Well, it's time for a couple public service announcements.
Yay!
I want you to give us an update on the opening of all the new businesses: the brewery, the Mexican restaurant, and the I'm missing one. Brewery, the
Donnie's.
Mexican restaurant. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, I could probably tell you with Los Trejos, they've been working on the building pretty much for the last 3 months or so, and overhauling a lot of it. It's been looking really nice. The first Friday event that we're having is actually National Nachos Day, so I'm hoping they can be open, because I mean, that's perfect.
Yeah.
And they're really hoping to be open September. I don't think there's a solid date. As far as Donnie's, I know I just recently spoke with Tiffany, who's one of the sisters, and they're still working on the building, and they're going to hopefully work on the outside of that. I don't know if they have a date yet. I'm hoping to speak to her this week. And as far as Mechanic Street Brewing, I don't know if they have a date. I know Ryan wanted to be open last year, so
Yeah, right, exactly.
They've been working on the building as well. The last time I was in there, it was looking really nice. I mean, so much of the world is just up in the air, but I know I'm really, really hoping that they all can open up this fall.
The final public service announcement, of course, the Chinese restaurant was very, very popular. Are we ever going to get a Chinese restaurant?
Yes. Oh, I would love it. I know we have a few buildings available that could potentially work, but they would need a lot of work to get it up to code. We'll see if we can romance somebody into doing it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, before we talk about the future, I want to talk a little bit about the past. I know that we had the Spirit of Wellington raffle last month. How did that turn out?
We were pretty excited that Business Enhancement Committee, led by Steve Neff with Wellington Music, saw a similar idea where the Main Street type organization would have a raffle and then all the proceeds would go back to businesses. So we put a few spins on it. And had about 30 businesses donate towards the prize packages, and we sold tickets for $10 and we raised $4,555.
That's good. That's good.
And so it was fun, and the extra competition between 3 of the business owners and the dunk tank was pretty fun. And we also worked with the Chamber of Commerce, and they raised a little over $175 with the dunk tank that'll go towards the fireworks fund for next year. You know, Main Street and I just really reach out to everyone in Wellington to try to be mindful of try to, spend at least a third of your dollars in town, whether that's getting groceries, buying your gas, buying your apparel. We've got places in town where you can buy clothes now, which is really awesome. We've got a lot of service businesses in town, and so we really hope people will be more local, shop and eat and play more locally.
Well, Jenny, I want to also talk a little bit more about an event that's very, very popular here in Wellington, but we're going to do it virtually, and that is the Talk Walk.
Obviously, with COVID, we had to improvise a bit, and with our first Friday on August 7th, the theme of that month is Color Our Community with Kindness. And so we're doing a couple things. One is the virtual chalk walk. So anyone who makes the design, either on their sidewalk, their driveway, even on a piece of paper, and posts and tags either First Fridays Wellington or Main Street Wellington, will get a ticket for a raffle prize. Mm-hmm. If it depicts something kind, either an act of kindness or just talking about being kind, you get 2 raffle tickets. And so those can be posted all the way up till noon on Friday, August 7th. So we've had it out for probably about a week or so, and I've only gotten 1 person.
Oh my!
Which is disappointing, and I hope people are waiting because we're making it really easy to participate. I know that people out there and they're interested, they just haven't done it. So we're pleading, basically, just do a little art for us. The other part of Color Our Community with Kindness is we are collecting items for Helping Hands Pantry. And you can drop off items up through August 7th at the First Friday event. You can drop them off at Main Street. You can go to Berger Insurance or True Color Salon, who is the sponsor for this month.
Okay, well, we've talked a lot about fundraising and raffles and things like that. Well, there's another one that's very, very important that's coming up, I believe, on the 17th of September, Connect to a Cause. And it has to do with the Lorain County Board. Could you talk about that and how Wellington is involved?
And they are basically bringing together around 40 nonprofits from the county who are a part of this fundraiser. And it's a 12-hour time period. It's from 8 in the morning till 8 p.m. that night on September 17th. And they will be highlighting all these different nonprofits and encouraging everyone to get in their pocketbooks and donate a little bit of money, and showing them a catalog of all the different good service organizations they can give to. And Main Street, as well as Spirit of 76 Museum, are the 2 from Wellington that'll be a part of that. We just invite and encourage everyone within Wellington, and even from anywhere, if you would like to join and help us continue our mission, which is strengthening the spirit of Wellington. Individual memberships are $25 a year. we help with businesses finding grants to do building renovations. There's a lot of what we do that helps the community, not just the business community, but the community of Wellington as a whole.
Very good. Well, we'd like to once again thank Jenny Arntz, the director of Main Street Wellington, for coming on and talking to us about the state of the businesses in Wellington during this particular pandemic, giving us an update on the 3 restaurants, hopefully, that will be coming soon. Yeah, exactly. Hopefully very soon to Wellington, and giving us an idea of the future and what it looks like as far as fundraisers, chalk walks, and so on. So once again, Jenny, thank you very much for coming on. And I'd also like to thank Ms. Dottie Cianciola, my field reporter, and also Dave Conklin, my technical advisor. This program would not be able to be produced without their specific help. This has been the summer of 2020, a Film Crew production.
Thank you.